Hey everyone, welcome to Truth Lies Shenanigans. I'm Neil Nix, and thank you so much for joining us. We've got a really great show for you guys. I want you all to get your questions ready. It's been a while since we've had a new installment of our series, COVID Chronicles, but tonight we have immunologist Dr. Alain Sima joining us to answer questions on the coronavirus. Also, in Hot Topics, Liz Z wants to discuss the mass shooting in the Colorado supermarket. Johnny Storm is talking Nicki Minaj's father. And I've got a quick fire question about a recent revelation from Trump on his handling of the coronavirus. As always, stick around till the end for our game show where we're playing Truth or Lie. Now, before we get into the
Yeah.
show, we've got to introduce you to our wonderful co hosts, our professor, writer, editor, journalist out of Washington, D.C., Miss Lizzie Ender.
What's up, everyone? Happy Hump Day Wednesday. You can add Sleepyhead to that title, to those
Yes.
monikers.
Long day for you.
Yeah.
Exhausted. It's been a long day, and I still have 40 first drafts of Essay 1 to grade. 40.
Oh,
40.
wow.
So
So
I'm not a happy
Relentless.
camper.
let's see if we can make it more exciting for you. Keep you awake. Our rock star from the rock band Fallen Machine coming to you from Sudbury, Ontario, Mr. Rob B. Rock.
What's up, everyone? Happy Wednesday. Super stoked to be here. It's been a very busy, very productive week. I'm feeling the brain drain, but feeling excited. This is going to be a fun show. And tomorrow night, I'm going to be on the Nerd Apocalypse with Micah and Jay. So they don't go
Wow.
live, but
Nice, Rob.
it's going to be recorded tomorrow night. And then, if I'm not mistaken, they are available the very next day. So we're going to be talking about The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 1, 3D printed homes, laser hair growth bald caps, and a lot of other cool stuff.
Sounds very nerdy to me. Sounds very nerdy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
All right. And then streaming from Atlanta, Georgia, college student, model, actress, and the co host of Truth Lies Shenanigans Unscripted, Miss Gianni Storm.
Hey guys.
Hey,
Happy
Gianni.
Hump Day. Um, Everything's going good. I feel like I'm ready for classes to end. Luckily the midterm went good. I got mostly A's. One
Oh,
B
good
in
for
one of my
you.
classes. But yeah. So I'm doing pretty good, but I'm just looking forward to no responsibilities besides work. No responsibilities.
Yeah, you're probably pretty tired.
Can't wait for the summer. Yeah.
Quickly remind people when and where they can watch you on TLS Unscripted.
You can watch me and Olivia E on Instagram Fridays at 6:30 unscripted.
Now, before we get to our quick fire, Liz Z, you were on another expert panel on inclusion in sports.
Oh.
Tell us more about what happened. It was I actually watched it. It was really good.
We blowing me up today?
Yeah, always.
So
Wow.
I am a CU, a University of Colorado graduated with a degree in journalism and English back in 1998, eons ago. And so every year, the University of Colorado, they have what's called an inclusive summit. And it's a panel where people normally in person come to speak. I spoke on a panel for them probably, I think it's been 10 years. It was in 2011. And I actually was a Hearst journalist in residence at that time. So I got an award for speaking then. But they came and they asked me to join the discussion for today's summit. And the topic was CU Boulder, sports journalism and broadcasting. And it was under the vein of, being a minority, both myself as a Black woman. So I got the double-edged sword, minorityism, if you will. But I was on a panel with some former CU graduates, alumni. Charles Johnson used to be the quarterback for the CU football team back in, I believe he was there from 87 to 91, if I'm not mistaken. So these are people that I haven't seen in a very long time. And we had a very spirited discussion about why we chose sports journalism, what we learned from CU that we were able to use in our careers as sports journalists,
Mhm.
and what it meant for us to be a person of color working in the world of sports. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
And you spoke about your experience as
Nice.
a woman in sports journalism, particularly noting that you were really uncomfortable with working the NBA. Did you have uh, a lot of sexual harassment there, or what was going on with that?
Yeah, why were you uncomfortable?
um, so
Is
one,
it for like obvious reasons?
I think I was mostly uncomfortable. One, again, I was what, 23 years old. And so when I first started at Sports Illustrated, they asked me which sports I was interested in terms of having a beat. Just left Colorado, so I love college football. I was kind of hot and cold on the NBA, like a fan, but never really reported on it. But they gave me the NBA because I was a young, kind of cute Black woman, and they thought that the players would be more likely to gravitate towards me than your average middle-aged white male reporter. And so definitely wasn't prepared for that. But I also, at that time, I had never really interviewed professionals before. I had never been in a sports locker room before. So all of that was new to me. And I think I was very naive. I didn't have a good understanding of what the interpersonal dynamics would be between a young female reporter and these, multi-millionaire, 7 foot tall Black men, if you will. Um, so I mean, I had a few incidents. I had one player who kind of a little bit stalked me.
Ooh,
Showed up at my hotel room at the NBA Finals one year.
ooh.
Um, I had
What?
a couple of I had a couple of because I was in the media hotel and everyone knows where the media stays. So and back then, this was 99 if I'm not mistaken. So security was not what it is now. Like you could
Mhm,
just walk up,
mhm,
ask if someone's staying in this
mhm.
hotel and they'll give you the name, the room number, everything back in the day.
Mm.
Um
My
I
goodness.
had players, I had a jock strap thrown at me in the locker room.
Wow.
I had a guy in the locker room who accused me of looking at his stuff like very loudly, to which the locker room got quiet.
You
He's
probably
like,
took
that's
a peek. Stop faking. You probably took a
Wow.
peek.
He's
I
like,
mean,
never.
random penises are not my thing.
Penises.
Sorry. Uh,
Random.
but he was like, I saw you looking at my dick. And I'm just standing there like, oh, what is he
Wow.
talking about? So that particular case, I actually had to report. Like my editor was like, you need to
Yeah.
report this. But I think the thing that made me like really most
Wow.
uncomfortable, one year when NBA All Star was in DC, actually. So I came down to cover NBA All Star. Sports Illustrated didn't really do All Star stories, but they were like, oh, we want you to go and we want you to get as many phone numbers as you can. I'm like,
See?
Uh,
Mhm,
that means something a little bit different than
mhm,
if you're saying that to a male
Yeah.
reporter. If I
mhm,
go up to an NBA player asking for his number, he thinks I'm coming back to the crib.
mhm, mhm.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
coming back to the hotel,
Set
which
up.
clearly was not the case. I did not date professional
Yeah.
athletes. I never did, never would. It's a conflict of interest. Um, but it made me uncomfortable. I think for all of the sports that I covered, I was most uncomfortable with the NBA, but I got the most advantages, if you will. I did the most traveling
Yep,
with the NBA. So it was kind of, a weird dichotomy.
yep.
But I think things have changed a little bit because this was, over 20 years ago. So I think things have changed a little bit
Yeah, and
for
there are
women.
many more reporters now, female
Mhm.
reporters, so that's a good thing.
Yeah,
Mm.
I was
Yeah.
often the
Sure.
only woman in the locker room. And you had, wives looking me up and down like, what's that bitch doing up there? And I'm like, bitch, I got a credential. That's what I'm doing in this work. Um,
All right.
I've seen fights, between the girlfriend and the wife that are both at the arena at the same time.
Wow.
It was a lot of stuff. It was a
Yeah.
lot of stuff.
All right. Well, I'm
Wow.
glad you were a
That's interesting.
trailblazer for women reporters, female reporters. But it's time for our quick fire question. Let's get to it.
Come on, fire. I don't even know.
Donald Trump revealed on a podcast that he rarely followed Dr. Anthony Fauci or Deborah Birx's advice. So, who in the hell was Trump listening to account for 1/5 of the world's COVID deaths, the most in the world, and double the next closest Brazil? Let's start with Rob B.
Trump's ego didn't allow him to take advice from anyone more intelligent than himself during his administration, so he was getting a lot of bad advice from QAnon forums.
QAnon. Gianni?
Trump heard Dr. Fauci, but he wasn't listening to him. So there's a difference.
Okay, fair enough. Lizzie?
I think he was listening to his right hand racist man, Stephen Miller.
Mm.
I think that's where he got a lot of his information and his guidance from. That little cretin, Stephen
Yeah.
Miller.
I don't know. I mean, this may be the same person, but
Cretin.
it might have been Satan. Who knows? But
It is the same person. One and the
but
same. One and
I
the
will
same.
say, I will say, life is a whole lot brighter now that he's gone. That's for sure. Because yeah,
It's a lot quieter. Like
it
you
is,
wake up,
isn't it?
Yeah.
ease.
It is.
I
It's
wake up and it
comfort in
feels
the
like a
morning.
good day, right?
Oh man.
So, any chance that he'll ever own up to killing 500,000 people? Because responsibility goes on his shoulders, right? If you're not even listening to the top experts in the world, and your country fails far worse than any other, there's only one person to blame, right? Robbie?
He's not very good at taking accountability.
Gianni,
So, no,
what do
I
you think? I mean,
I feel like every president has that one thing that they're known for. Like it's usually sometimes a bad thing, and this is one of them. I don't think that he is gonna own up and
oh
be
no,
like,
he's
he has a lot of
way
pride.
more than
No,
one.
he's very prideful.
This-
He's got way more.
he was. He
But this
literally.
one is like in history because this is like people are dying
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
as it's
555,000
reported.
deaths. It's like
Yeah.
it's like having a basketball team with LeBron, Harden, Durant, Steph Curry, and you bench all of them.
All the beasts, yeah,
You bench them, and you bring some
against the
D League
worst.
players and lose, and then and then he's saying, "Oh well, it was LeBron's fault,"
Yeah.
because
I mean, he
because
has
he didn't practice right, so I didn't play him.
he's an extreme narcissist who has a black soul. So there's never going to be any acknowledgement or any taking responsibility for anything. He takes responsibility for shit that he lies about.
Yeah.
That's what he takes responsibility for.
Mhm.
But any truths, any self-acknowledgement, nah, no, he's
Yeah.
not going to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Now that we've gotten the shenanigans out of the way, if you've never been to TLS before, let me tell you a little bit about it. Our hosts and our guests share their truths and opinions with you, call out the lies, and point out any ridiculous shenanigans going on. And on this show, we always try to have some fun with shenanigans of our own. The show streams live just about everywhere. You can quickly find us on YouTube. Just go to TLSshow.com or search at TLS Live Show across all major social media platforms. And listen to Truth Lies Shenanigans anytime, iTunes or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Now, it's time for another installment